Hello there everyone, today we're going to do this. This is a variant over the theme of the Pahtakorva, a Frodin fly that really has made an impact all over the world. A great pattern that really fishes well in all of the Norwegian and Russian rivers and stuff like that. So it's fairly simple. There's not much to it. I've tied this with opossum as the wing, a sunger wing, which really looks awesome in the water. So let's get started. Let's get cracking. First up, we're gonna need a pro tube. This is the Pro Flexi tube, which is nice because they're fairly easy to use, and you can I just cut this down in length. So simply I just attach this to my tube fly needle here, like so, and then I apply some Sabagap here, and this is in order to give this fly some more weight. So I take a 10mm Pro US tube and simply just slide it over here, and then it will connect with the other part, and now I have some easy and a very easy way to add some weight to my fly. I'm just gonna remove the leftover super glue like that, and then we're ready to go. The first thing we need to tie down is of course the tying thread. I use the Vivus 50 Dinya here, GPS thread, because you can really apply some pressure, and it's very good at holding your materials in place. Then I'm gonna make a bud with some Mirage opal tinsel here, just a small one. And I simply just add that to the thread so I can control exactly where it's going, where I placed it, like so. And then I turn it backwards for as long as I want it. This should not be too long, so about that is what I'm going for, like that. And then I will be tying this down. If you want, you can add a bit of super glue to this to ensure that it stays in place. And it will last for more fish or more rocks or whatever you will hit with your flies. More often than not, salmon flies tend to die, at least for me, from hitting rocks rather than from being chewed to pieces by fish. Regretfully, but that's salmon fishing for you. Then I'm gonna take some orange fluorofiber here, and I take a fairly small bundle because I'm gonna double this in order to save on materials, like so. And then I double this over like that, and I'm gonna cut the loop with my scissor. So there you have it. And then I'm gonna taper this with my scissor. So I'm holding it back, and then I'm cutting here and pulling a bit on some of these fibers as well to make this taper correctly, like so. You can see it has a nice tapering now. Then I'm gonna tie this down on top of where I tied the butt down, like so, and then I'm gonna move on to the gold US tube. The color of the US tube does not matter at all. It simply is to, we're gonna cover it with a lot of other materials. So basically the point of it is to give some weight to the fly, so this fly will fish the second it hits the water. I'm gonna cut off the leftover fluorofiber here, and then I'm gonna make the first segment of the body, and for that I'm gonna use some gold mini flat braid from Vivus. Great stuff, and it has a nice shine to it, and really looks awesome. This is a classic. It has become a classic a classic salmon fly, this one. And as I said, I have a lot of friends who fishes the early fishing in Norway and in Russia, and they never leave home without this fly, because it simply is a pattern that just produces fish season after season after season. So really, if you're planning to go salmon fishing in the early for the big early fish, then you would want one of these, or some of these, not one, preferably more than one in your box, because it's always good to have more than one of a pattern, especially a pattern that is as famous and produces as many fish as this does. Then I'm just gonna cover the rest of my US tube with some tying thread and some of the orange tube as well with tying thread, to have something for my dubbing, which is the next thing I'm going to use to latch onto, like so. Yeah, really nice tapering on the tail there. Then I'm going to take a hackle, because we need a body hackle for this, a palmer hackle, and this I'm going to do in grizzly chartreuse, and I'm using some of these Metz hackles, and these are fairly nice for flies like this. They're not as good as if you have a complete hen saddled or a soft patch, because you have to look a bit longer for a feather, and you will not have as many usable feathers as you will have on a soft patch. But it's a very good cheap alternative to buying, one of every single color of these hackles in the patches. But some of this is grizzly orange. Some of the colors I strongly recommend that you do buy in full patches, because, well, something like the black, which is the next thing we're going to use, really is something you use a lot. So now I'm going to take some sinew fusion dubbing in. This is called Midnight. It has some flesh in there, some copper flesh and stuff like that fits the color scheme of this fly very well. And basically, I built a wider section of the body here that is wider than the flat braid body with the dubbing, because we want this to taper, so it's going to be slim, then a little thicker, then thicker all the way up, to give the fly kind of like the shape of a teardrop, which will make it swim the best way, but also give it the right look of something fishy like out in the water. At least that's the theory that everyone is is putting out there, that it has to have that shape, because it will resemble small fish, and it will definitely look more organic this way, and it will make the tail swim better also, the wing, I mean. So like that, a bit more dubbing here. If you can hear the wind howl, it's just that I have a leaky window and here in the showroom, and I think I need to talk to my the guy who I'm renting the showroom from, because that's a bit annoying, and it's also expensive, I think, in in heat. So you could have some gold rib here if you like. I'm just gonna do it without, but some gold rib would be nice, like so. One of the things I enjoy, now I listen to the wind howl, one of the things I really enjoy about fly tying is I'm actually going to fish the Kola Peninsula for salmon. Ah, crap. That's not what I enjoy, but I'm just gonna fix that in a second. Sorry. Now I need my hackle plier. I didn't before, but now I do. I'm going to fish the Kola Peninsula this year, and every time I sit down to the vise and tie flies like this, every time I take out a new fly from the vise, I finish a new fly, I always look at the fly and think to myself, maybe this is the one that's gonna land me that big shiny chrome salmon. And I think that's Also, one of the great things about fly tying is you sit here around the vise during winter time or whenever, and simply just imagine that this one, exactly this one, is the one that's gonna get me that big shiny thing, or that big badass dorado, or whatever it is you're going for. But you can actually fish at home during winter whilst the wind is howling, and that appeals to me very much. Just gonna take my dubbing brush here and brush the feathers down on the side, and also pick out some of the dubbing here to give it a more shaggy look. And I enjoy fly tying immensely. Really enjoy it. It is nice to be able to make videos of the flies that I'm gonna fish next summer as well. So this is actually going straight into my box for a cola. Like so. And now it's time to add the sunker wing here. When you're using sunker wing, it's important that the wings taper. So they should not be completely uniform. They should taper and end in a point. And I've made a full video explaining just that. Here I have something that I've prepared in advance. I've cut this out of an opossum skin. So if you want to see exactly how to do these with scalpels and stuff like that, you should check out that. Simply just write how to prepare a sunker wing in YouTube, and you will find that specific video. So I want this to be the place where the skin here, the leather ends, should be right above the end of the tail. And then I'm gonna, like so. And this is a very strong wing because all of the hairs are still attached to the leather. So this is a good way to make a very strong fly as well. And the movement of this opossum in the water is truly amazing. I'm gonna cut off the leather here as close as I can to. And as you can see, I can really apply some pressure due to the strength of the thread here. And then we need a black hackle, some jungle cock, a bit of flesh, and the fly is done. So, and because, as I said, black is a color I use very frequently, I have a full hen saddle with the black ones. In the fly tying kit for this fly, there will be a package of Metz hackles. As always, when I tie these flies, I have full material kits available in my shop. That is annoying. That is flytying.eu. So if you like this fly, you can simply just click onto my web shop, and you can with one click buy the complete material kit for this fly. Like so. And then I'm gonna turn the hackle here. And this black really gives it a nice twist and a nice finishing touch to this fly. Maybe one more turn, like that. That is sufficient. I'm gonna cut off the feather like so. Fold everything back, tie on top of it. Looking awesome. Then I'm gonna take some jungle cock, and since since jungle cock is something that is a bit hard to come by, then I have begun using these artificial jungle cock, and the ones from Pro Sportsfisher is by far the best substitute for jungle cock I have ever seen. These are pretty cool. So one thing that is important when using these is that you simply just take them and just make them a bit more pliable. Simply just stretch them a bit, run them over your nails and stuff like that, so they will be easier to attach correctly, but also they will follow your wing better and follow the hairs and stuff like that in also in the water. So I attach one to the side that's pointing towards me, and the other one that is on your side also I just stretch it a bit. And these are very durable. I saw one that has been that had been in an aquarium for several months. The rest of the fly was simply just had completely lost its color, but the jungle cock looked exactly the same as when it came out of the package, like that. Gonna cut off here the stumps of the jungle cock. I have a hackle fiber that is not the right way as well. And then the final touches, I'm gonna add some wing and flesh in orange. Just a few strands, nothing much, but simply just to give it a bit of a shine, a bit of sparkle in the wing. Not much, but I don't know how much hair there is here, maybe 10, 15 strands, something like that. And I'm gonna try to distribute it so it's gonna be on the shoulders of the fly here. It's not gonna be in a clump in the middle. It's gonna be spread out over the entire wing here, like so. There, and it's important that it's not too long. It must not be too much longer than the wing. I don't like that it hangs out there in the back of the fly and just looks clumsy and stuff like that. Then I'm gonna make my whip finish, like so. And I'm gonna cut off my thread. Gonna cut off the rest of the flesh that I didn't use. As you can see, it's all the way over the wing. And the final finishing touch is to add the cone head. And the cone head is a really nice thing for these flies, because it will keep the fish better in the water. It will, first of all, it provide a very nice finishing touch to your fly. It will make your fly look better, but it also has a real effect on the fly, because it will counterbalance the weight of the hook. So this will make your fly swim even better in the water and look more authentic. So like that, there is the cone head, there is the wing, there is the Pahtakorva variant. I think perhaps that this down here is a bit too long, so I'm gonna cut that down. And then what we're gonna do for finishing off this fly is simply to take the fly out of the tube vise, like that. And of course, I have misplaced my lighter somehow, so I have to use matches for this. And then I'm gonna take a match, but any open flame will do, and I'm simply gonna shrink down the front of the tube here it will shrink backwards, and it will keep the cone head in place, but it will also make sure that your line is not damaged in any way while entering the tube here. And then I'm going to cut this off a bit further down so it's not as long. And the good thing about these from Pro is they're soft, so you can actually, if you want a hook guide, you can actually just put your hook directly into the tube. I prefer to have a swing tube hanging behind this fly, but the tube here also works as an orange fixating point for the fish. So there you have it. the Pahtakorva, or however you say it. Thank you for watching, and of course remember to subscribe to the channel, and well, I hope this was useful, and yeah, swing by my webshop flytying.eu.